Good afternoon. I'm out here on a small walk. It's Valentine's Day, so I've decided to pivot the content a little bit. I was going to talk to you guys about taking risks, which sounds like a like a teacher who's like coming to do a talk. But since it's Valentine's Day, walk backwards so I can walk into the camera.
Okay.
Since it's Valentine's Day, you get to boss your girlfriend around. Like, oh wait, wife,
That's
wife.
right.
Uh,
Got it right.
like this. So I've just been thinking about getting into relationships, i.e., going on a date. And I watched the show First Dates for fun, as every modern philosopher should. And I noticed that the actual construct of a date, you go to a bar, you have drinks, and you go through this very rigid sort of ceremonial conversation, which kind of has a high fail rate. You sort of notice that as the problem of why people aren't in dates, aren't in relationships, and aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, they're just not in relationships. And I think if you're a person who has had a relationship when they were younger, or they are very mature and are working in the world, i.e., they have a cool career, they have traveled, they have lots of experience, taking that knowledge and that mindset back to the normal dating world, where you have to sort of go for this very simple ceremony of what's your favorite drink, what's your favorite color, who's going to pay the bill. Where I think in the real world, when you're in a real relationship, the questions like who's going to split the bill, it's not really a question anymore. Especially if you've been with somebody for 7 years. I'm using you as an example. Those questions don't really come up. And to get rid of that loneliness and to be with somebody who you can truly invest your time in and love, you need to feel comfortable, you need to be yourself. So I think the best relationships, I mean, obviously some relationships are formed through the dating system. I'm not saying they're not. And for certain people who maybe are working certain jobs within the same industry, and maybe people are a little bit more, they want the kids by 30, I think dating's good for them. But for the majority of people, I actually think dating restricts their growth as a person and stops them getting into meaningful relationships, because when you're out and about, we use this nature as example, you want to naturally meet, I'm not talking like Adam and Eve style, but you want to naturally meet people in the world, and through that the connection will be a lot more real, and you find yourself not going through those sort of mundane questions of, oh, where are you from? Even though you need to start a basis of that, what I'm saying is it's allowed to advance without being judged by the person. Because most people go on dates and they're already getting ready to judge, like, why that person is dressed the way they are, why they sound like the way they are they tall enough, do they have the correct hair color, do our star alignments meet up? And that is what is strangling the dating scene, and there's sort of this like industry built on that, and it's just very disappointing to sort of see that when through movies and stories we depict what we want in love, and that usually love is meeting somebody who is star-crossed and meeting somebody who is sort of different to the rest of the pack. That is the concept of love. There is sort of this harmony of like yin and yang coming together. But through this very simplistic view for the dating, I think that is what strangles people from finding love. And love's another interesting topic which we'll go into another day, whether it's either fleeting or it can be continued or can be attained. That's another question. Okay, so I'm going to continue this walk. I'm going to head that way. It's as your English would describe, it's a brisk day today. It's like a little, well, it's not really cold, but it's, if you were to stop walking, it would be cold. Okay, so have a good week. This will be uploaded after Valentine's Day, so yeah, maybe this video is kind of pointless, but yeah. Have a good week, weekend. Thanks for the support. Ciao.